Sweden, the nation of Sweden, is, I believe, the only country in the world right now, I believe, it could be more, but is one of the only ones that I know of that has not been under any sort of coronavirus lockdown. It's not that they were on lockdown and now they're done. They were never on any lockdown. The only restriction they had is 50 people cannot gather in one place. That's the only thing. No stores have to be closed, nothing. The government isn't even suggesting to people it's to stay home. And for a country that's usually very conformist, that's quite shocking. They are going very independent on this. They're not listening to the World Health Organization, which is spewing out Chinese propaganda. They're not listening to the deep state media folks all over the world and the establishment politicians who are listening to getting Chinese information as well. So they haven't been under lockdown, and I apologize. There's a stupid siren going on outside. If you hear it, it's just some ambulance. Forgive it. But yeah, okay, it's gone now. So Sweden hasn't been under any lockdown, and I knew that they hadn't been under any lockdown for quite some time, but I wanted to wait because I was watching news articles when I heard about this saying that, millions of people were going to get coronavirus. Millions. It would be the end of the world. Sweden is a stupid nation for doing this. It's going to wipe out their population. All this stuff. The UK went under lockdown because they were getting so-called data saying that millions of people in the UK would get coronavirus if they didn't go under lockdown and have all their freedoms taken away and didn't have police officers walking up and down the street like the Stasi in East Germany. Millions! Well, it's been 2 weeks now, almost 3 weeks, since Sweden has had no lockdown. And Sweden is not only is it fine, not only is there no abnormal cases, Sweden's coronavirus population is actually lower per capita than most others. Lower! I mean, now compare that to Italy, which even after they closed down their nation, much worse than everyone else, they still were getting so many cases. But Sweden, none, nothing. They're going on happy, they're in the stores, they're doing this. So it's just another piece of evidence that this whole coronavirus thing, we're not being told the whole truth about it. We're not. Something else is going on. And this is a message for all you dumb, stupid, dirty, disgusting losers out there who are, and it's a few of you, not a lot, just a few dumb losers out there, middle-aged, usually women, probably divorced, washed up women who are angry, miserable. There are a few men out there, a few simps out there who are saying, how dare you advocate opening back up Canada? How dare you? We want more of our freedoms taken away. We want more of them taken away. And all this sort of foolishness. And you're going to have stuff on your Facebook profile picture. Stop the spread. Stay at home and all that dumb nonsense that you got going on. Sweden is not locked down. And there's no problem. Yeah, you get a few cases like, is like what I've been saying. It's going to kill people. People are going to get it. Some people have gotten it, but it's actually lower. But more importantly, it doesn't even matter whether it's lower or higher. The fact of the matter is the population of Sweden has not been affected. And Stockholm is a pretty big city. It's pretty big. It's a large city, and Sweden is not a rural place. I mean, it's a developed country, and they have very good-sized towns with people doing things. It's not like it's Montana or North Dakota, and those states don't have any lockdown either. I can understand, it's a rural state, and but Sweden is not a rural country. This isn't Iceland. Or Sweden is actually very developed. In fact, it's probably more developed than the province of Ontario. I mean, Sweden, there are very rarely any forests, or it's not like that. It's a developed, powerful country. Stockholm, it's I would say Stockholm is, I wouldn't say it's as big as Toronto, but it's pretty big. Maybe it is, I don't know. But Stockholm is big. They have trains, they have buses, they have people crowding around. In fact, Sweden is actually, if there was a virus, I would be more worried. I mean, if there was if everything we've been told was true, Sweden would actually be more of a risky place than even Toronto, because thing with those Nordic countries is that not a lot of them drive. They don't drive. It's one of those countries where it's either public transit or walking. Toronto, you still have people who want to drive, and they're never going to give them up. And I say God bless them for it. You know, don't let these politicians tell you you must be on public transit and you must not drive. You will not drive, and we will punish you if you drive. But they walk, or they bicycle, or they take trains or buses, and the public transit system in Sweden is very good, excellent. It's probably one of the best in the world. In fact, I think it's even free. I don't know if it's Sweden or if it's Luxembourg, which has free transit, but one of those countries recently made public transit free, which is one of the only countries. I don't know if it was Sweden or Luxembourg, one of them. I think it was Luxembourg, but people ride the train and the tram and the bus and the this and that, and they're packed up together, and I mean, they're still doing it. You see pictures of them doing it. They're fine. I mean, so what I want to know is, why are we continuing to listen to these so-called experts who don't seem to be very expert? They first said that we shouldn't close travel to China. Everybody was saying that, with the exception of Trump. Turns out we have to do that. That was the thing I said we had to do. You know? Many of them said that it would kill millions of people. This thing is going to be the end of the millions of people. Look at Sweden. They have no shutdown whatsoever. They're living happy. It's a happy country right now. Look at us, all miserable, and we are being forced to quarantine and this and that. I mean, I'm not quarantining. I'm still gonna go. Even if Canada were to come out and say we'll arrest people on the street, come and get, just like how I say come and get my guns, come and get me. I dare you. Even if I have to run some officer over with a vehicle, I'll do it. At this point, I'm that angry right now. I am furious. I am pissed off right now at this whole thing that's been going on in the world. It's making me angry, and as the days go by, my anger grows and grows and grows. And you know what? The more freedoms they take from us, the more we have nothing else to lose. They better be careful. I'm going to start protesting in the next month or a few weeks. You watch. You continue to sign that petition. It's in the top of the comments section and in the description. Reopen Canada. All the things they've been saying is not true. All the things they've been saying. Almost all the things they've been saying is not true. They said that if you don't shut down, it'll kill millions of people. Millions of people. They said that people who get it are very likely to die. People with pre-existing conditions, it's almost a guarantee you're going to die. It's killed less than 1% of the people who get it, even conditions. You've got 101-year-old women who get it, and they've gotten over it. I mean, all the famous people who've gotten it, almost all of them, I think, have gotten over it. Matt Daddy's wife, Boris Johnson, all these people, they've gotten over. Prince Charles, they're all gotten over it. Yeah, they said people with if you get it and you have a pre-existing condition, you're dead. There's no hope. Now, I am saying, I no longer want to listen to these people anymore. Because their track record is all wrong. Now, you can be a coward, you can be a loser, you can be an idiot all you want, listening to your mainstream media. I mean, there's even CBC out there now. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, a government state media, telling children, I think they said it on Children's Hour, to rat out your parents if they say anything controversial about coronavirus. Rat out your parents. The parents who bore you, who raised you, who feed you, who clean you, who read you bedtime stories. I think this is an effort for big government to break up the family. These people don't like family. I mean, these are people, I mean, many of these leaders, many of these big state people don't have families. They're not married. They don't have kids. So it's like they want other people to be miserable as well. And I mean, the woman who made that video on CBC Children's Hour, she looked like she's never been laid. She's never had any kids. I mean, you could see the anger and hatred and misery in her eyes. I mean, she looked like she looked like Jezebel's baby sister. And she's telling children to rat out your parents if they say anything bad about communist China. You say anything, criticize our efforts to stop coronavirus, rat them out. Publicly shame them. That's CBC. That's what we're paying taxes for. I mean, you've got the Los Angeles mayor actually paying people to snitch. It's like the deep state is trying to get us divided because they know it's easier to control us when we are divided. So we're going to fight amongst each other. We're going to turn against each other. We're going to rat out each other. You've even got people who are on the so-called populist nationalist movement. I personally think they're just all talk, who are even now coming to me and attacking me for advocating us to have our freedom because of the fact that these people who have been giving us all this information and who are called experts have been wrong. I want us to live like Sweden is right now. Better, actually. And that's what I'm going to start fighting for. You can be a slave all you want, but I'm going to fight for my freedom and yours. And I'll tell you, and I said it, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The more freedoms you take from me, is the worse I can get. I will give you something to be afraid of. You think this virus is bad. I have the capability of organizing people to start some serious shit all over this country if things don't start improving for us. You think this virus is bad. You ain't seen nothing yet. You think this virus is bad. You think this is bad. I have the capability. I have ways to really. I mean, if you want to piss us off, the Arana Nation, all of us. I mean, you watch. All you snitches out there, all you coronavirus fearmongers out there, all you politicians out there trying to take our freedoms. Watch out. Watch out. You watch it. Just watch. These World Health Organization people have been so wrong. It's not funny. Even America is taking away their money. Even Donald Trump, who from time to time gets caught up with the deep state and sometimes bows to them, especially the Zionists in the deep state. Even he is saying enough is enough. Because they lied about how many people would die from if they got it. Most people who get it survive. In fact, less than 1% of the population of the world who get coronavirus actually die. Less than 1% of the world's population even has coronavirus. Sweden is not under lockdown. And they are very well. There's nothing abnormal about their coronavirus cases. They said don't close travel to Chinese people, and they're doing it. How much more things can they be wrong about before we start saying enough is enough? You give us back our freedoms right now. But you stay there. You stay there. It's only just begun. People are beginning to wake up and protest now. And I'm going to bring that same spirit to Canada. You just watch. You think this virus is bad. I promise you. You have seen nothing yet until you feel the wrath of the Arana Nation.